That's right, we're back. It took me a minute to get out of the BRB screen because I forgot I have to choose a different scene now. Since we're watching a video off of a desktop or whatever. I instinctively went back to the scene I have set up for video game consoles because we were playing Mega Man for so long on the Switch. So I was like, oh, where the fuck's the button? Where the fuck's the button? What was it? Oh yeah, Rescue Survey Team. Requester, Earth Environment Reclamation Committee. Here we go. We're getting more. We'll get slightly more exposition on the whole thing I talked about, the Great Destruction. You know, the big ass war and conflict that destroyed the Earth and caused people to have to move underground. We want you to break into an old military facility remaining above ground to the southwest of Isaac City. This facility has been completely abandoned, but we have reason to believe it had been used as a testing ground for prototype weapons prior to the Great Destruction. If any of the companies get wind of this, a fight for this facility is inevitable. We immediately sent a survey team to find out the truth, but they ran into trouble. That's true. They will fight over it because, you know, scarce resources, especially ones that might have historical value and maybe more, like, you know, weapons development research potentially, are definitely an asset that, yeah, will cause a conflict. They will definitely be coveted, and you know, resources like that can be highly profitable to have in your possession. Anyway, a gate within the facility suddenly closed and scrapped security MTs began operating. After barely making it back to the first floor, the team is stranded behind the locked gate. This mission's annoying. Do you see the map? Look at the top left. Look at that. Like, it's annoying because it's a labyrinth. This is a labyrinth mission. Like, it's a maze that you have to get through. The security MTs have been repulsed for now, but we don't know how long this will last. We want you to rescue the team ASAP. The rescue mission. That's the survey team that you have to rescue in the top right, by the way. That's the vehicle that they're all in. You'll finally get a good sense of scale, if you didn't already notice it from the city mission we did earlier, of how big armored cores really are compared to humans. When you see that vehicle.
System engaged.
You should have already seen it or noticed it from the trees, the size of trees, and you know, street lights and the streets and all that in that city though, but I mean, basically, I mean, a human pilot goes right into the core, so look at the size of it. But if you want to know more precisely, I'd say the average human probably stands about as tall as the headpiece. At best, maybe less. Probably less. Yeah, that was actually probably a little less, yeah. That means all these facilities and environments we're going into are fucking huge. Otherwise, how would an armored core get through them? And MTs too, that are also, you know, these are all humongous machines. These little spider robots used to freak me out because of the way they move. They scuttle like real spiders, but they only have 4 legs, so it looks a little different, you know? I don't know if they'd be less freaky or more freaky if they had a face. Yeah, this labyrinth can be very confusing, and that's how this mission tries to kill you. It's preying on you not knowing where to go and just getting whittled down fast and hard by all these countless fucking enemies that just whittle away at your health.
Thank goodness. Destroy the gate lock device. This will certainly open the gate.
This guy knew exactly, he's very experienced with this game. He knew exactly where to go. He went straight to the mission objective. Usually me, I'm stuck in here for like, well, it feels like 30 minutes, but it's not, obviously. I would have died from them shooting at me, but like, I'm stuck in this level for a while before finally finding these guys. This guy went straight to it. Because there's a lot of zigzagging you can do and just get lost in this level, which is, again, that's the whole challenge of it. I'm not sure why he's bothering to kill extra enemies when he doesn't have to, but hey, that's his prerogative, right? He wants to kill him. He's got bloodlust. They're just automated machines anyway.
Target achieved.
There they are. Yeah, you saw the size of the little bus that had them, or that little car that had them, basically. You have new mail. EERC, the Earth Environmental Reclamation Committee or something. From R, he's going to give us some exposition on them. The Earth Environment Reclamation Committee has recently made a name for itself in the public eye. Professing the goal of reclaiming the above-ground environment, the committee has some of the most prominent scientists in the world as its members. However, there are many questions in regard to its true nature. There are rumors that it is actually an organization with some other purpose. I'll be in touch. Nice, he leaves us on that cliffhanger. Thanks, R. He's gonna leave us with, they might actually be something else. I'll be in touch, see ya. It's like, what? What the fuck? He refuses to elaborate, what a giga chad. Terrorist pursuit. Isaac City Guard is the requester. Just now, several MTs thought to be terrorists appeared in an urban district. Indiscriminately, they attacked the surrounding buildings and fled. Guards rushing to the scene cornered one terrorist in a nearby parking garage, but the garage has only one large entrance, so it is not easy to get to him. This fucking mission, oh my god. You'll see, I'm not even gonna say why I said that. You'll see. The rest of the gang is still fleeing and we cannot spare any more men. Go to the scene ASAP and cooperate in destroying the terrorist. Several civilian vehicles remain in the garage. Damages to the vehicles will be deducted from your pay. Sorry, but we've got budget problems too. Good luck. Okay, here's where you'll get a better sense of scale. Look how tiny the cars are compared to the AC. Compared to your armored core.
System engaged.
There it is. Okay, so maybe I was right, yeah. I'd say, so yeah, a human being is probably about the size of the head then, yeah. The headpiece of an armored core. Does he have a cheese strap for this? No, he doesn't. He's gotta chase him. The cars aren't that small, so the ACs aren't too big. But they're big. Yeah, even if that guy destroys the cars, you still get deducted, like, money. Like that. See, what an asshole. He's costing us money. Get him! Yeah, this whole thing is just a chase through a parking garage.
This is the guard. The bottom floors are chrome use only. Get it over with before he gets there. We're counting on you.
Oh, there is a fail. Yeah, if he goes too low into the parking garage, you can just lose him and fail. I forgot about that. Unless they give you special permission. I can't remember what happens. I usually kill him before he gets that far. Yeah, he's scripted to run away to the next floor if you start damaging him too much or take too long to do anything. If you run right through the cars, you'll step on them and blow them up if you have bipedal legs, or if you have these, you'll just blow them up as you run through them. Oh, there's Chrome. They're backing you up. They're helping you kill this guy. Yeah, he's tanky, dude. Straight bullet hit that car.
This floor is for chrome use only. Get out quickly as soon as you're finished with your job.
Okay, so you don't fail.
Achieved.
You don't fail. They're okay with you being there, but just for that, and then like get the fuck out. Damn. Minus 1,300 credits for cars being destroyed. Feels bad.
You suck!
Basically. Oh yeah, the cool thing about optional parts, they don't take up any... They're so small. They're presumably like this. Like, to our scale as humans. So they don't take up any weight. Because there are weight restrictions. Yeah, he's putting them on right now. They give you nice little perks without adding any weight restrictions or causing any other like issues with your AC like other parts would. What do these two do? What's he doing? Decreases projectile damage, decreases energy damage. He's going for a defensive build. At least with the optional parts. Doesn't change much of his AC except the legs. Attack Urban Center. Oh, this one. This is a small turning point, or a bit of a revelation happens here in the story. Nothing too big though. Requester Chrome upon success based on results. So your pay will be based on what they tell you to do and how well you do it. We want you to wreak havoc on Gal City. The job is simple. Just attack the urban area and fire at will at any attractive target. If one finds oneself in danger, one who does not have the power to resist must depend on someone else. If you have the power, come to us at Chrome. You have 3 minutes for tactical operations. Staying any longer is useless. If you stay too long, we don't know what sort of trouble will happen. Your pay will be determined based on the results. Simply put, the more you destroy, the higher your pay. Good luck. So they just want you to fuck shit up. Literally. What kind of enemies? Who knows? But you only got 3 minutes to cause as much fucking... See, it's literally a rampage from Grand Theft Auto, I'm telling you. The two franchises are very parallel. This one just lacks the raunchy humor and
System
and hookers,
engaged.
but yeah, so now you want to run through all these fucking cars. Fuck them. Yeah, see, armored cores are not too big. Look at the size of those trees and the cars themselves. They almost reach like the halfway point, so keep in mind though, he is closer to the ground as well because he doesn't have the bipedal legs anymore. He's, you know, got these little spider legs. He's just going for the easy shit, running through cars. I wonder if he's gonna do the extra little thing you can do in this mission though. It doesn't look like he's going for it. Oh look, there's a metro line up there. Presumably filled with people. We just murdered a bunch of people. These cars are all parked, so I don't think there's anyone in them, but
You
none of that
in
matters.
the AC, surrender immediately.
Hey, none of that matters
If
to
you
us, only the
resist,
mission.
we will attack without mercy.
We're just here to make a buck. I don't think he's gonna go for it. No, he's gonna camp here. Ah, well, that's too bad. There's something that can happen in this mission if you wander around long enough before the timer gets too low. Or maybe it still happens, maybe it's just timer based, even if you stand still. I won't say anything until the mission's over. I don't think he's gonna go for it though, he values his money too much or just isn't brave enough to think he'll survive it. So he's just hanging out here. Yeah, I think you probably have to kill those guys to trigger it and he's not doing it. So he's just gonna sit here and let the timer run out then. Well, this is
Enemy
anticlimactic.
approaching. Danger. Danger. Danger.
Oh, never mind. It happens no
Name
matter
of
what.
AC. Valkyrie.
Now we got battle music. Oh, he's gonna cheese him. You can cheese this enemy like this? Now notice it said enemy AC. I won't say anything till after because it kind of explains itself. Go for the kill, man. Come on, make us proud. Go for the kill. Oh, he's up. They're up here. They just stood on top of us and then jumped back down. The AI is a little jank. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Come on. Oh! Get fucking destroyed. I'll explain why that's a big deal in a minute. A big deal, quote unquote. I mean, you saw how easy they look at their health. That took no effort for them to kill him. I never knew about this cheese strap, man.
Time over. Combat halted.
I'm definitely doing this when I play this game again. This will explain better than me. Ranking Raven from R, our good old Raven's Nest contact. He says, from the Raven's Nest standpoint, as long as someone pays our price, we have no say in regards to the content of a mission. That's just between you and the employer, basically. This means that sometimes ravens may fight against each other. This time you fought against the ranking raven. I think it's pronounced Love. Loves. Or Lovi. I don't know. But the AC name, because you can name your AC. You heard our computer, it said Valkyrie. That was what it looked like. It has nothing but a sniper rifle as a weapon. And it's pretty much the starting AC except for the arms and legs. It's a lightweight, high-speed AC. You saw it moved around. He is one of our top-ranked ravens. You should consider yourself lucky to have escaped with your life. I'll be in touch. Too bad he doesn't say anything different because you actually killed him. Because if the timer runs out and you're still alive, he still says this. So it doesn't matter if you kill him or not, he says he's one of our top-ranked ravens. It doesn't reflect the fact that you killed him because he would say he was one of our top-ranked ravens because now he's dead. Now he says top-ranked. If you actually had checked the rankings before doing that mission, it was number 2. The top-ranked raven is a pilot named Hustler 1, and their AC is called 9-Ball, and they have a red and black color scheme. It looks pretty cool. The number 2 raven was this one. Losves, AC named Valkyrie, which you can see that's the theme they were going for. And the emblem is actually an actual like Valkyrie as depicted in traditional art. It's like this, you know, goddess this like warrior goddess with wings and a giant spear, I think. So it's an actually like it's an actual Valkyrie goddess for the emblem on the AC. On this picture of the AC, it's on the other side. It's on the other arm, and it's on the side. You can't see it. And now we can't see it because once you kill a fellow raven, they get removed from the rankings list, obviously, because they're dead. They're dead, so they're just like, boop, kick them. They don't exist anymore. And then a new raven comes in at the bottom to like take the spot, so it's always 20. It's always the ranking board is always 20, with you somewhere in there, depending on how your performance is. But yeah, I find it funny how it says you should consider yourself. It's one of our top ranked ravens. You should consider yourself lucky to have escaped with your life, and yet you're like, but I fucking killed them, and they were trash, bro. So it kind of sucks. They don't actually in later games they do reflect that when that does happen. Like they will say, I think they do say something different. Like it's a little better, but in this one, no, they don't even acknowledge the fact that you killed them. If you do, if you manage to do it. Now they seem like a pushover here, and there have been times where I've played this, and yeah, they were, even without that cheese strat, I killed them like they're no fucking problem. But there has been times where I got stun locked to death with their pretty fast and easy and quickly with that sniper rifle that Valkyrie has, and I was like, holy shit, they fucking wrecked me. Like sometimes the AI of that enemy can actually go fucking berserk on you and just destroy you. But for the most part, there were also a lot of times where I was able to just kill him pretty easily, even without that cheese strat. And I was just kind of like, I don't know what the big deal is with this guy. Like, it's supposed to be in break number 2. Oh, but getting sidetracked. What I wanted to talk about was the description. I don't remember it, obviously, the whole thing. But the description for that ranking said that nobody actually knows if it's a he or a she, because some people might assume it might be a woman because, you know, the Valkyrie emblem, the name Valkyrie, and the look of the AC, the overall theme of their AC and their emblem kind of makes it seem like slightly feminine. So, but it's not confirmed if the pilot is female or not. And now we'll never know because they're dead. But R says he uses the pronoun he, but I don't think he actually gives a shit. So that doesn't really tell us anything either. But either way, it's not really a main plot point anyway. That was just their way of introducing the fact that ravens do fight each other, because the Raven's Nest is not meant to be like a team. It's not a team of ravens all working together. It's independent mercenaries, you know, taking contracts from whoever they want. And sometimes that means, like R just said, that they'll end up fighting each other, because maybe you take a contract for Chrome, somebody else takes a contract for Murakumo, and both of your missions happen to take place in the same spot, but you're on opposite sides. So guess what? Now you gotta fight. That's how it is. It's not a team thing. Your fellow ravens are not your teammates, basically. He's getting that straight. Destroy fuel depot. Well, I'm guessing that's where it's... Okay, this is another iconic mission. They didn't remake this one, but this is from Murakumo Millennium. They say, we want to perform a secret survey of a chemical dyeing company research lab located in the East region. We have heard many troubling rumors about a certain company's research. From the information that we've gathered so far, this seems to be Chrome's doing. Your mission is a diversionary action in support of the survey team entering the lab. Attack the fuel depot adjacent to the lab and blow up all of the fuel tanks inside. The survey team plans to enter the lab during the commotion. You must escape from the depot after blowing up all of the tanks. If discovered by the guards, you'll have trouble. There is probably a large number of tanks in the fuel depot. Be careful to avoid damage from the explosions. Okay. Destroy all the tanks. This is another seek and destroy kind of mission. It's not much of a labyrinth though. Well, that was a search and rescue that I'm thinking of.
System engaged.
I think this is the first time we get a seek and destroy mission, but yeah. It's not much of a labyrinth, it's a big open space, but believe it or not, it can still be kind of annoying if you don't know where all the tanks are. Some of them are actually kind of hidden. There are some nooks and crannies.
Malfunction. Malfunction.
But this is the main gimmick of this shit.
Radar abnormality.
I forgot about this crap. Oh, I thought the computer would explain. This radar abnormality she's talking about, it's controlled by those helicopters. You saw that one just now? Look. See that helicopter? You can't target it because that is using a jamming device, and there's more than one. They're all over the place. They're using a jamming device to hinder your targeting system, so you can't lock on your FCS. Your radar still works. I don't know why it says radar abnormality like that. This right here. Your radar still works. I don't know why they say that. What they're actually jamming is your targeting system. So it's optional, but recommended that you destroy those helicopters so you can get your targeting back for enemies. But it's not necessary because you can't lock onto the tanks you're supposed to destroy anyway, so you can just go straight for the tanks if you want. The enemies here are not that bad. And you can, I guess, always just kill them with manual aim or your sword if you want. See what he does. It's a lot of fucking radar jamming helicopters. The game doesn't even tell you that that's what, you know, they're doing. You just have to figure it out on your own. This mission's a little dull, so I might start... Now that I'm running out of things to commentate about the game, for missions like these, I might actually start doing the fast-forward thing we used to do for other games that I've just watched on YouTube. Because, yeah, there's not much to this mission. This is it. This is pretty much it, so... See, the first hour, whenever I...
Danger. Targets destroyed.
Raven, that is enough. Go back now.
Yeah, this happens as soon as you've destroyed the last target. A bunch of reinforcements show up and try to kill you, and you have to get the fuck out.
Danger.
Every time your computer says that, new enemies have spawned the way you came. This is where the real challenge starts, is once you've destroyed the tanks, you gotta go back the way you came and not die. Basically. But yeah, usually the first hour of a new game or franchise that I start marathoning, for example, I usually have a lot to say because I'm explaining like
target achieved.
Why I like this game or franchise. I'm giving a little bit of exposition on it, my thoughts on the franchise in general, yada yada. Like, I have a lot to say at the beginning, which is why we only got through half hour of this video during the first hour of my video, commentating on it. But then afterwards, it just, you know, most of what I wanted to say, without spoiling what we're gonna see next, you know, most of what I wanted to say that I can say at that point, I've already said, so then that's when I have to start doing the fast forward thing, even if it's not like a JRPG that's grindy. Which is fine. It's something that I just brought up because I think it's funny. That like at the beginning I'm always like fucking chatterbox, and then it's like, well, not much to say here, and this mission's kind of dull, so time to start fast forwarding. Chemical Dyne Co. Introducing another entity. From R, our buddy. There are many things about the Chemical Dyne Co. that make it hard for one to say that it is a company with a good reputation. Although it has achieved a solid position as a biochemical manufacturer, the rumors of dangerous experiments and chemicals refuse to be quelled. Dangerous experiments. Umbrella? In addition, it is a known fact that Chrome has been a major factor in their development through joint venture relationships. Oh, okay, so they're being funded by Chrome. No wonder Murakumo made us destroy those. I'll be in touch. He always says that. Prototype MT test by Chrome. Come participate in a combat test against a new weapon currently under development. Anyone is okay as long as they can fight. We want combat data for the current prototype. Your opponent, Chaos, is a completely automated robot, and the location is inside our lab. No need to be timid. Give it all you've got. However, you get paid only if you win. No slacking off. This may not be much of a challenge to you, Ravens, but you can make a fast buck. Think of it as an easy job. So they want combat data. Chaos 0.8 is your enemy. And then your character was like,
the test MT you'll fight is completely automated. There's no need to be timid. Give it all you've got.
Yes, I was trying to imitate her when I read that part of the mission briefing because I remember that. I remember hearing that voice line. It's been in my head.
System engaged.
Look at this dude.
This fight's not too hard. I've never failed it.
We got some excellent data. We'll put it to good use in the future. Thank you for your help.
Target achieved.
Do I need to say it? I mean, just machine gun spam, dead. Believe it or not, a lot of fights can be cheese like that. Like, these games are not generally that hard. Their difficulty only peaks at the very end, usually. But again, they're all a little different. Some of them are actually pretty hard. Other ones, they're like this. They can be kind of cheesed with the right setup. But that's the thing about games where you can customize your character or loadout so much, like this game. Back then it was a big deal. I think that's why this game got as far, this franchise made it as far as it did, and is still around today. Having a customizable mech is pretty cool. Ah, good. I can actually use the other tab in my browser now. Check this out. Human Plus from R regarding Human Plus. Are you aware of the Human Plus project? The Human Plus technology developed by Murakumo is an advanced technology whereby the organs of the body, mainly the nervous system, bones, and muscle tissue, are replaced.
What?
With artificial replacements, which give the subject abilities vastly superior to those of an ordinary man. So essentially, you get turned into a cyborg with prosthetics. Kind of. People who have undergone this operation are called the Plus, the ranks of which include soldiers and bodyguards for VIPs. That makes sense. You would want superhuman soldiers, right? Superhuman cyborg soldiers to protect VIPs. And of course, you would want that in your military. They call them Plus. Rumor has it that several of the top-ranking Ravens are also plus. However, the reason why Murakumo, supposedly an industrial manufacturer, originally developed this technology is still a mystery even now. An industrial manufacturer, supposedly. I'll be in touch. So, this person put the mission names along the timeline here, so I won't go too far to the right because then spoilers. There's a mission regarding the Human Plus that they don't do, unfortunately. I skimmed through and they don't do it. So I might as well just say it's not a spoiler because it's not going to happen in the video. He doesn't take that route. He doesn't go through the route that takes him to that mission, or when it comes up, he doesn't select it. Whichever. Either way, we're not going to see it, so I'm just going to explain it. There's a mission called Eliminate Human Plus Escapee. And it's by Murakumo, I believe, where you actually have to chase down and fight a Human Plus escapee, like it says. Like, it's somebody who underwent the operation that is trying to escape the lab that he was operated on, and he steals one of the MTs from there and wreaks some havoc, causes some damage, and then tries to escape. And then you get hired to go hunt him down and kill him. And then this is all from memory, but it's important, so most of the details are there. When you, as you're fighting him, he calls you by, nobody calls you by name, obviously, because you could put any name as your pilot name. So they just say Raven. He says something about like why you're there, and then when you kill him, he says Raven. As he's blowing up, he says Raven, you too. His radio's cutting out, but he says you too. They'll come for you too. And then he dies. It blows up, and it says, you know, your computer just says mission complete, returning to base, like usual. But yeah, you get an ominous warning, and the music is just ambient. It's literally just the sound of wind, because the fight takes place at a very high location. You can fall and fail the mission, so you have to watch your footing, I think. But it's a very ominous atmosphere. It's at nighttime too, so there's not a lot of lighting. And yeah, he just says that they'll come for you too, and that's it. And they can, but this won't happen in this playthrough, so I'm just going to talk about it now and show it right now. The way this happens, the way they integrated this into the story, that threat he gave, it's a warning, him saying that they'll come for you too. The way it can happen, and I discovered this by accident as a kid because I sucked so badly that it happened to me. If you go 50,000 credits or more into debt, that means your balance becomes on your balance sheet, your total credits at the bottom eventually becomes negative 50,000 or more. You end up getting forced to sell your body for human experiments, and so you get put into the Human Plus project against your will. Yeah, it's a pretty dark thing that can happen to you in this game. I'm not even kidding. There's a whole cutscene that goes with it, and I'm going to show you that right now because they talked about it. Here it is. This is from a different uploader, but here it is. Look at the income and expense report. Total credits negative 54,332. Essentially,
You suck!
this can happen from just, well, look at this. I mean, it can happen from just repeatedly failing missions that don't kill you, aka they don't give you a game over. There's a different cutscene for that. So you can literally, if you want to test this, just start a new game and fail the first mission that you get. Like just the first couple of missions, just fail them over and over and over. This will eventually happen. Eventually, I learned that this was a thing and did it on purpose, but the first time I discovered it as a kid was by complete accident, and it kind of freaked me out a little because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. It was complete accident because I sucked. I got 50,000 credits into debt, and then this happened.
Is this the subject for our next experiment? Yes. His papers say he was a raven. Ah, so he took the usual route here. Seems to have piled up quite a debt. Must have dashed his dreams. But he will be reborn in this experiment. That is, if he lives. You have a point there. Let's get started.
And that's it. You literally go back to the main menu like that. Like, you see how the Raven's Nest just started loading? Yeah, that's it. That cutscene ends. You just go right back to the Raven's Nest menu, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? What they didn't show is if you go check your missions, you're back at the beginning of the game. the game resets. You're back at the very beginning. So any progress you made, gone. If you check your AC, everything's reset to the point where you had just finished the AC test and you have the default AC. The game resets. So when that first happened to me, I thought it was a game over. And yeah, technically you can look at it that way, yeah, because it resets all your progress. You get sent right back to the beginning of the game. However, something changes that the game doesn't explicitly tell you. You have to figure this out. I figured it out as a kid after a few missions. I was like, why did the game just start over? What's going on? I didn't care because I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just play the game again from here. It was going pretty badly before anyway because I sucked. And I just kept playing and I realized something. As I started changing my AC parts, I noticed that I always had a radar now, even if I switched my headpiece to one that isn't supposed to have a radar. So essentially, you became a human plus, and what they did to you was they installed a radar into your brain. This is an exploitable mechanic of the game. But I just explained the story. Well, we just got the story part of it over here. And now I'm going to explain the gameplay aspect of it. So essentially, like I said, your body gets sold. You have to sell your body. And you heard what they said. It's kind of cryptic, right? It's a little dark. They said, his papers say, like, oh, we got another test subject. And they're like, oh, his papers say he was a raven. And he's like, oh, so one of the other lab guys who's about to do surgery on you is just like, oh, so he took the usual route here? Like, apparently a bunch of ravens, or, you know, aspiring ravens who just end up sucking and losing a bunch of money as their expenses pile up and they don't succeed in missions, like you in this case, end up here having to sell their bodies for human experimentation to pay off their debt. And that's what the guy said. He's like, yeah, he racked up quite a debt, I heard. And they're like, oh, dashed his dreams, huh? Like, some poor bastard. He probably thought he was gonna make it big, but he sucked. And they're like, yeah, they're like, but don't worry, he'll be reborn. Like he'll be much better after this, like, because he's gonna be a cyborg now with like superhuman abilities and prosthetic body parts. So he'll be able to perform a lot better now. They're like, but that's if he survives. So yeah, that's the whole lore behind it. So that mission that I described over here, which this person unfortunately doesn't do, I checked the timeline, he doesn't do that mission. It's an accurate warning. When you're hired, if you take the mission to kill the human plus escapee, the guy literally when he's dying will tell you they're gonna come for you too. And yeah, they do, but only if you suck so bad at the game that you get 50,000 credits into debt. Then you're captured and turned into a human plus experiment to pay off your debts. But if that doesn't happen, nothing ever happens. So if you beat the entire game without that ever happening, you'll always wonder what the hell that guy meant. You'll be like, he said they would come for me, but nobody ever did. That's because you never fell into debt. I saw the comments for both this video, well, not this one, but the Human Plus video, this one, and a lot of people were like, damn, I sucked so bad as a kid that I also ended up seeing this by accident and had no idea what was going on. I wasn't the only one. And there's also a few comments where like, I've never seen this before, and people replied to them saying, you're pretty good at the game then, if you never saw this, because that means you never went into debt because you were good at the game. I was like, oh, that's true, that's a flex. If you never saw this, that's actually a flex. I can't say that. I did see this as a kid because yeah. Anyway, let me get to the meat. I've rambled on enough. I just wanted to get the lore reasons and everything out there. This is an exploitable mechanic that actually a lot of players just decided to intentionally exploit. Like, they just decided to intentionally go into debt numerous times because here's the thing about how this works. From a gameplay perspective, now that we're done with the lore side of it, this can happen over and over, multiple times. So what a lot of players will do sometimes when they start a new file, because what I'm getting ahead of myself. They'll start a new file when they want to play this game, and if they want it to be on easy mode, essentially, they will do this a total of, I believe, about 8 times. It could be 6 to 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8. 6 to 8 times, but I'm pretty sure it's 8 times, because every time you do this, you get a new upgrade. And there's a lot of players who they just will be like, who doesn't do this? You know, like, fuck it. Like, the Human Plus makes you so fucking powerful, because it does. So your first upgrade, which I mentioned already, is permanent radar. So you no longer have to put on a radar on your shoulder or have a head that uses a radar, and you'll always have one. And I can't remember all the upgrades, but the most notable ones. There are certain back weapons. We won't see this in the playthrough we're watching. I don't think so. Because he's using a quad leg setup. But there are certain back weapons where if you're using a bipedal setup where you have humanoid legs, you have to kneel down and become completely stationary just to fire it, which makes you a sitting duck. You can just get destroyed if you do that. There's a Human Plus upgrade that makes it so you don't have to kneel down anymore. Oh, we saw that in the intro movie. Yeah, actually, why am I even... We saw it in the intro. Where are we? 49:25. Yeah, we see it right here. Look, there he is. He's doing it literally right there. So this weapon right here... Oh my god, I thought it was... This is an example of that. This. That rocket launcher, that's what that is, basically. It's a grenade launcher, I believe. Requires you to kneel down to use it. There's a Human Plus upgrade that lets you just fire it while you're doing anything else instead. You can be running, walking, dashing, flying in the air, and you can still point it like that and shoot it. Now, R just told us in his mail that a lot of the top-ranking Ravens are rumored to be Human Plus. He's right about that, they are. Valkyrie was one of them, but since she only had a sniper rifle, you couldn't see the difference. I don't want to give spoilers, but when you do fight another top-ranking Raven, they will do exactly what I just said. They use this grenade launcher right here that that they're using in, you know, the main character here is using in the intro movie, but they will use it without getting on one knee. They will just fly around and spam it at you, which you can't do unless you get those Human Plus upgrades. So a lot of players will get the Human Plus upgrades. They don't see it as cheating. They see it as making it even ground because a lot of your opponents will have them, especially the endgame opponents. I think the way From Software looks at it, though, is that these are handicaps in case you really suck at the game, so that to help you be better at the game, basically. So you know, there's endless debate in the community about whether it's cheating or not, but for the most part, it's generally accepted to just be a handicap. And there's a whole community of players who just are like, yeah, fuck it, it might be a handicap, but we're gonna do it because we enjoy the game more that way. And yeah, that's fair. Go ahead. It's there for you to exploit it if you want. All you gotta do is start a new game. Depending on the upgrades you want, get yourself into debt 8 different times if you want all of them. Or, because the upgrades are always in the same order. So only if you've memorized or have it written down which upgrade you get on how many times you've gone into debt, 50,000 credits. The same exact cutscene plays over and over, by the way. It's never different. It's the same one over and over. Depending on what upgrades you want, you do it as many times as you want, and then you get all of them. So anyway... Yeah, one of the upgrades you can get was what I just explained about the shoulder weapons. Another upgrade is getting double energy. So no matter what generator or boosters you're using, you have twice as... The energy bar is still the same size, but you'll notice it decreases at half the speed, no matter what generator or boosters you're using. So that's another pretty big perk, double energy. The shoulder weapon thing, the permanent radar, that's 3 upgrades. So I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 more and I just can't remember what they are, but they're pretty significant. Oh, I just remembered one. You can shoot a blade out of, like, you know your blade, how you cut like that, or even if you do the stabbing motion, if you're using a quad or tank leg setup, you can actually push the blade button again at the peak of your attack and it'll fire the blade out like a giant horizontal laser, like a blade beam. Essentially, it's a blade beam, like Cloud's Limit Break. Cloud's Limit Break blade beam, where he does a slice and a giant like laser blade, you know, comes flying out. You guys have seen it in anime, I'm sure. You see it in anime. You see it in anime like video games. So yeah, that's another perk. That's 4 I've remembered now. I can't remember the rest, but yeah, for the most part, those are just a few to, you know, the ones that I can name off the top of my head. So yeah, it's something that people sometimes exploit, and the beauty of it is once you have those perks on your save file, when you've unlocked as many as you want and you've saved the game and you just play through it like that, you can transfer this save data to the other PS1 games, Project Phantasma and Massive Arena, respectively. That's the order they came out in, and you'll still have them. You'll still have those perks. Which is fucking awesome because this is the only game you can unlock them for in the PS1 era. Yes, the Human Plus does come back later in the franchise, and I'll explain it when it does. But for the PS1 era, this is the only game you can unlock them by doing that. Project Phantasma and Massive Arena, you cannot... No matter how much you go into debt, this won't happen. You can't get the Human Plus upgrades. So if you want them for those games, you have to get them in this game first, and then transfer the save file over to those other 2 games. And that's how you'll have them. That's the only way to get them. But yeah, that's pretty much Human Plus in a nutshell. It's a pretty big nutshell. It took me longer to explain than I wanted it to, but there's a lot to explain. I feel like I could have summarized it, sure, but it just, you know, I'm not always the best at that, as you know. I get really rambly at times. Anyway, we're done with this. So let's get back to where we were. 49:25. I saw the time right here. So yeah, that's all the details about Human Plus. And again, it would have been nicer to actually just show you the mission where the guy says all that and then explain it. But since I already skimmed with my mouse to look at all the mission names and I saw that he doesn't do it, I pretty much just had to talk about it now. So yeah. Oh, and of course, the last thing I want to say is, yeah, it's kind of, it's a little funny, right? That you're getting human upgrades, you're getting prosthetic body parts, but the perks are for your AC. But that's just because that's just the gameplay side of it. Lore-wise, it's you as a human being artificially enhanced through prosthetic body parts. But from a gameplay mechanic perspective, since you never actually play as a human on the ground, you're always in an AC in this game. Obviously, the perks they had to give you were for the AC, like having double energy for your booster or energy weapons, and being able to shoot blade beams and using shoulder weapons. As a kid, I just like to imagine it as, I guess maybe using a shoulder weapon means like your pilot has to like put a lot of strain in their arm to move or their legs and arms, depending on how you envision them piloting the AC. But then because they have the prosthetic body parts, they can actually move the weight of your arms and your AC's arms and legs even with a heavy weapon equipped, so that's why you can move around like that. But honestly, it's best not to dwell on the details. It's just a gameplay thing. It's just a gameplay enhancer is all it is. Like, it's best not to dwell on, wait, how does getting human enhanced, like human prosthetic parts help the AC become better? Like, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's just, you know, it's just a gameplay thing. Don't worry about it. don't question it too much. But now you know the gameplay side of it. Now you know the story side of it, of what Human Plus is. So now we're continuing the story. Guard Freight Train by Murakuma Millennium. Oh, they're giving you an advance. This is our first one where I think this is the first one that I've noticed where we're getting an advance. This one, an advance, for those who don't know, because it is a financial term, the 12,000 credits where it said advance, it means that just accepting the contract, you automatically get 12,000 credits. This is one of those situations where you can just accept it, get the 12,000 credits, and then go buy something in the shop that you really wanted or something. But now you're locked into the contract, of course. But that's why but yeah, an advance, this happens in real life too, in real life business. You can get an advance where just accepting a contract, they will give you money up front, and then the reward is after you've completed the contract, of course. This is a thing in the business world. We have an emergency. We have been informed of a plan to attack our long-haul freight train, Boulder. We are unsure of the enemy's exact target, but it is likely that they are after the confidential cargo in the lead car. The train's next stop, Heavens Rocks Supply Depot. Dude, my FF14 brain was like, Heavens word? No. Heavens Rocks Supply Depot has very little cover. We feel that this would be an opportune location for the enemy to attack. Go ahead of the train ASAP and head for the supply depot. Give highest priority to ensuring the safety of at least the lead car. So even if the other cars get destroyed, your mission won't fail. You just can't let the lead car get destroyed. The cars further back are not particularly important at this time, but we will up your pay by 10,000 credits if all the cars are safe, excuse me. We're counting on you, Raven. So if you manage to not let a single train car get destroyed, you get an extra 10,000 for this, which is pretty poggers. Let's see if this guy does it. He seems like he'd be a pretty fucking good player, so they definitely know what they're doing. Big time.
We have reached the fuel depot. Dropping AC.
Fucking loud as shit. But you guys don't get to hear it at the volume I do.
Engaged.
When they talk, it's just super loud for me. Like, you guys do hear the difference, but with the noise limiter that I have running, you don't hear the difference as much as I do. For me, it's like, holy shit. I'm just glad I discovered what a noise limiter even was. For Streamlabs, OBS or whatever. Like, I'm glad I actually looked up some proper tutorials on YouTube to discover these things, because otherwise right now, this would be an unwatchable VOD, like, Like pretty much all my VODs with my old microphone where it's like absurdly fucking loud because I had no idea what I was doing audio-wise back then. Any of you who've been watching since my oldest content will know what I'm talking about. That Blue Yeti mic? Holy shit.
This is Boulder. We're almost at the destination.
If I only knew what a condenser microphone was compared to a dynamic one. A dynamic microphone?
Enemy approaching.
But I didn't know about any of that.
Danger. Danger.
Some rusty ass AC. He's got a wolf head for a emblem on his shoulder. So our computer didn't say anything. It didn't say enemy AC identified as so-and-so. That means this enemy, even though they're in an AC, is not a ranking Raven. They're not a Raven that's registered with the Raven's Nest. It's just some enemy in an armored core. None of this shit matters. You can destroy it. It won't deduct your pay. Just keep him away from the fucking train so he doesn't destroy any of it. If you manage to kill the plane enemies before this guy shows up, the train should be safe. As long as you focus on him. See, those are marked like almost like enemy dots on the radar.
This is Boulder. Refueling complete. We're underway.
But they're actually representing the train cars that you have to protect. And yeah, this guy's a Giga Chad. Not a single train car was destroyed. He's gonna get an extra 10,000 credits. Bravo. Yeah, he took out those airplane enemies with ease, honestly. They're usually very fucking annoying to deal with, but this guy knows what he's doing. Don't tell me that's a train car that he...
Left.
Did that train car get destroyed before he could do anything, or is this a plane that just crashed and died here?
Target achieved.
Target left. Target achieved. It's like, okay. Let's see. Did he get it or no? Oh, he actually... No, look, there's no special edition. He didn't get it. That's why he went up to look at it. He was probably going like, fuck. He's probably like, fuck. He noticed that he did lose a train car. I thought he actually protected it. Damn. I think it was that fucking AC, man. It actually managed to destroy one of the train cars before he engaged them. God damn it, dude. The red AC from Murakuma Millennium. They're saying, we never imagined that the guy in the red AC would show up. The owner of that red AC was originally well known as a very able Raven. So they're an ex-Raven. Well, and now they're dead because we killed him. Then, one time he failed to complete a mission and was never heard from again. The AC reappeared several years ago. Since then, every time that he appeared on a battlefield, he would act like a mad dog, indiscriminately attacking anyone over and over. There are some who say that he was just looking for a place to die. Now, no one will know the real reason for his actions. See, this email is because you killed him. That's why he says no one will know, because, well, he's dead. Now we'll never know the truth. By the way, this is a low-key hint to the Human Plus thing. You remember how I said, if you fail enough missions and get into debt, 50,000 credits, you get turned into a Human Plus experiment? I think this is the game's way of hinting at that towards you. This is the in-game hint that From Software put in for that mechanic. Because they just said he failed a mission, then he disappeared. Then he suddenly reappeared several years later, and he was acting like a rabid dog, just attacking anything in sight. What I failed to mention about the Human Plus escapee mission that I talked about earlier when I started talking about Human Plus and all that? Well, he obviously acts like a psychopath too. I mean, it's human experimentation. I mean, they're kind of, you know, From Software's trying to imply that even though some of these human subjects survive and become like bodyguards for VIPs and all that, some of these human test subjects, even if they survive physically, their mind does not survive the horrific experiments performed on them. Luckily, that doesn't happen to you, of course. You got plot armor. For you, time just resets back to when you first started your career and you just have all these enhancements. Because again, for you, it's mostly just a gameplay thing. It doesn't actually affect your character story-wise. They never acknowledge that you have the Human Plus enhancements or anything like that. The game still progresses as normal and pretends that you're still just a normal human being by the end of it. It's just a gameplay. It's just a gameplay perk for the player, thank God. But it does not change anything for the story. But yeah, still, the story itself does give you hints on how to unlock that mechanic or make it happen. If you want it to happen on purpose. If you're a good enough player that it won't happen to you on accident like it did to me and a few others. Because, you know, we suck.
You suck.
They drop more hints about it later. Well, no, aside from that one, and it was Murakumo talking about it. They're the ones who do the Human Plus experiment, so of course that's all they say. They don't say anything about it. But the only other hint is the mission I described earlier. The escapee test subject telling you that they'll come for you too when Murakumo hires you to kill him. Alright, what's our next mission? Guard factory entrance. Oh, okay, this is a turning point. I didn't know it happened this early in the video. This is not necessarily the halfway point of the game, but it's one of the major deciding factors for who you're going to work for the rest of the game, which determines your sub-ending. Again, I'll explain what I mean by sub-ending when we get there. It's easier that way than if I try right now. Or if I try right now, it'll take me longer than the Human Plus rant. Okay, so look at this. They're both the same rewards. See these two missions? Secret Factory Recon and Guard Factory Entrance, both offering 32,000 credits. Guess who the employers are? One of them is Murakumo Millennium, and the other is Chrome, and they both take place in the exact same location. So, this guy's choosing to go with Chrome. Guard Factory Entrance. He's choosing to side with Chrome. But what I mean here is, whichever one of these two missions you choose, amongst other factors, this is one of the major deciding points for who's going to keep offering you work. Whichever one of these you choose decides who's going to keep hiring you. So like there's a hidden point system operating in the background of this game. You gain points with, this is just Murakumo and Chrome because they're the biggest contractors for Ravens, because they're the two big giant corporations in the game that are constantly at war with each other. There's a point system where every time you do a job for Murakumo or Chrome, you get a point with them. It's kind of like you're enhancing your relationship with that person, with that corporation. So then you start to favor them. Every time you do a mission for the other company, Chrome, instead of Murakumo, you get a point with them. At a certain point in the game, I don't know if it's the halfway point or just before it, but I think it's more or less the halfway point of the story. The game will tabulate who you have more points with. Did you work more for Murakumo or Chrome? And then that'll decide the rest of your story path, which is very different. Up until the last three missions where it reconverges into the same story. That's why I call it a sub-ending, because there's a major cutscene that is completely different, and the missions leading up to that cutscene are completely different depending on if you sided with Murakumo or Chrome. So that's why I call it a sub-ending, because it's almost like an ending to the story, but it's just different between if you sided with Chrome or Murakumo, but it's not the actual ending of the entire story. There's still more to the story that happens, which is not changed depending on who you chose to side with. So the actual ending of the game is still the same no matter who you side with, but that's why I call it a sub-ending, is different depending on who you side with. Again, I'll explain more when we get there. But I guess this guy's gonna go with Chrome, because he chose to side with Chrome for this mission. And honestly, I like going with Chrome better. The missions are more fun. The missions fighting against Murakumo instead of fighting against Chrome are way more fun and interesting than the other side. Fighting against Chrome is very annoying. The missions for Murakumo against Chrome towards the end of the game are very... I don't want to say they're difficult. They kind of are. I think they're mostly the same in terms of difficulty. They're just annoying. Like, some of them are like labyrinth missions where you have to go through these big areas that are very confusing and labyrinth-like. It's really bad. I prefer to side with Chrome because the missions are just, yeah, they're less annoying. They're a little easier in my eyes. And I think most people, or at least this guy, thinks the same way because he's siding with Chrome also. We have uncovered a plan to destroy our underground factory in the White Land area. I know I should have paused. We think that Murakumo's behind it. You can go read the other mission contract right now and you can confirm that for yourself. They have no idea that Murakumo's hiring you to join that attack on that factory. And you have to pick between if you're going to be on the side that attacks the factory or the side that defends it. This is the only mission where it's the opposite. Attacking it is far easier than defending it. But if you want to side with Chrome for the rest of the game, you got to do this. Unless you've exclusively avoided working with Murakumo. But it's very hard. This gives you a lot of points for whoever you side with. So it's very hard to change sides after this. From personal experience, I can tell you, this mission is a huge deciding factor. It's very hard to switch after this. You can, I've done it before, you can still end up on the other side, but only if you diligently only do missions for the other side from this point on, and have only done missions for the other side before this point too. Otherwise, you're going to be pretty much locked into whoever you side with here. We are not sure of the specific details, but since the factory is underground, they can't do anything else unless they get inside. So we want someone to guard the entrance of the factory. The gate cannot be opened from outside as long as the lock system is not destroyed. That's your defense target. We will need several days to put up a full-scale security system. Of course, we will pay you during that period whether or not there is an attack. So we're literally going to stand guard for days. For several days. Not a bad job, huh? Do it well. Like, they're implying that you're just going to get to sit on your ass and make money. But of course, if you read the other contract you're being offered by Murakumo, you know you're not going to get to just sit on your ass. You're going to see some action. Because they're planning an attack on this base. They actually are.
System engaged.
And here they come.
Enemy approaching.
There they are.
Danger. Danger. Danger.
This mission is far harder. To me anyway, it was a lot harder. Because you get these plane enemies that are so fucking annoying. I tough it out and do it anyway just because I prefer to side with Chrome, like I said before. Fighting Murakumo is a lot more fun and easy. It's mostly more fun. The missions are more epic. I don't want to spoil why. We'll get there when we get there. Don't tell me they only target you. No, I tried this strategy before. Did I just do it wrong? Do they really only go after you if you go far away enough so you don't have to do anything? To like protect the... Or is he just gonna get some...
Booster obtained.
Oh shit! I didn't know there was a hidden part here!
Booster obtained.
We don't get to see it because his AC covers it up from our perspective, but he picked up a booster that was lying on top of the thing, I guess. A booster part. I didn't know about that. This guy knows all the secrets, man. Fucking Giga Chat over here. I mean, he probably just looked it up and then did some practice playthroughs of the game before doing this video, but still, you
Enemy
know,
approaching.
that's diligence.
Danger. Danger. Danger.
Because yeah, I mean, nowadays you can just look up a game pack, you'll find out everything you need to know. Oh yeah, so if anyone's curious about all the Human Plus perks, that's your, you know, if you want to go find out what they all are, they're on game packs, you can look it up there. Just like in Grand Theft Auto, I would recommend saving between every single mission. It's much less annoying in this game because it's just a menu. You just go to the save menu and that's it. In GTA, you have to drive all the way back to your save house and it's annoying. I'm talking about the older GTAs, the PS2 era and all that. Because of the fact that when you fail, you can lose all your money. You can lose your money in both games from failing missions.
Target achieved.
So the smart thing to do is to save between every mission. Autosave takes care of that now. But back in the days, you had to manually save. You had to make it like homework. Not only could you, you know, lose money from failing, but there is a game over state here too. I'll look up that cutscene for next time, because we're obviously not going to finish this today. That was the last mission I was planning on doing, because that's another... We finished another hour now. Let's read this email first, though. Factory Affair Report from Chrome. If you side with Murakumo, they send you mail instead. We received the report on the battle. You did quite a job. We didn't expect so much firepower to be thrown into the fight, but the fact that you managed to repulse them all by yourself was amazing. See, they're very impressed with you now, so they really want to work with you now. He's like, I like it. To tell the truth, we thought of you Ravens as no more than convenient throwaways. Technically not wrong, that is what a mercenary is. But I guess we will have to rethink our position. Well, anyway, good job. That is all. So you'll get a thank you email from Murakumo if you side with them on invading the base. What's the next mission, just so I know? What's the cliffhanger? Oh, he's gonna go into the shop. Well, character management. Let's let him get this out of the way. He's selling his headpiece. Oh yeah, you can softlock, by the way. Because they did the traditional RPG thing from back in the day where anything you buy has a resale value that is generally half of what you paid for to buy it. This might not seem obvious, but the way you can softlock is when you start the game, this is the fastest way anyway, you sell all your parts, except the ones you're required to keep, which is just your core. The actual core, but you can sell off your legs and your head. You're not allowed to start a mission unless you have at least one headpiece and one set of arms and legs. And one weapon, I think. Which can just be a blade sword, you can just fight with a sword, but I digress. You need a headpiece, legs, arms, you need all that. The essentials. If you sell them though, you might not be able to buy them back. Because they will be twice the price that you sold them for. And if you don't have any other headpiece or legs or arms to replace the ones you sold, and you can't buy back the ones you sold, soft locked. You're just stuck in this menu forever. Can't play the game anymore. You have to reset the game and start a new game, or go back to, or don't save. Go back, reload your old save, and then don't do that. If you save in that state, which I stupidly did as a kid one time, I think I don't know what I was trying to do. I had just started a new game, so I didn't lose any progress, so I wasn't mad. I had just started, and I just sold off I was like, I wonder if I have enough money if I sell off all my parts to just buy better parts right from the start. And I got soft locked instantly. I was like, oops. So they fixed this later, though. Later in the franchise, they make it so that any parts you sell, you can buy them back for the same price. They will never sell for more or less. It's the same price. So if you buy something and you didn't like it, you can sell it and you get all your money back. And you might think, well, that's just making the game easier. It's to prevent the soft lock. Well, yeah, it makes the game easier, sure, because then with buyer's remorse, you can actually just get a full refund now. And you're like, oh yeah, there's no consequences for getting a bad purchase. You can just refund it immediately. It's like, oh, so it's again, some people will see that as, oh, they're just making the game easier by doing that. Why are you hand-holding so much, you know? But honestly, it's to prevent soft locks. Like, and the only other way they could have solved that, I guess, is by not allowing you to sell any arm piece or leg piece or head piece unless you have a replacement part. But that would have just made the game annoying. Because then it's like, what if, dude, if I sell this set of arms, I have enough to buy the other set of arms, but the game won't let me until I get the other set of arms first, because it won't let me soft lock without enough body parts to start a mission. You see what I'm saying? They thought of that and we're like, no, yeah, that won't work because that'll just piss people off. Like, dude, I have enough if I can sell these arms to get the new arms, but you won't let me until I buy the new arms first, but that means I'll have to do another mission first with the shitty arms, you know? So instead, they solved it by just making the resale value exactly the same price as when you first purchase it. But yeah, this first game does not have that anti-soft lock feature, so be careful. Just be careful. Because, yeah, I discovered that on my own as a kid. I played this game a lot, dude. I did a lot of shit. Like, yeah, so if you have enough parts and you sold off one that you had equipped, like he sold off his headpiece before buying the new one, right? As soon as you go to your garage, it'll equip the next one in line, which in this case, he only had one other headpiece, the one he just bought, so it immediately put it on. And it says necessary parts equipped. But if you don't have the necessary parts, the game will just tell you, you cannot, when you go into the garage, it'll be like, you don't have enough parts, you cannot start a mission like this. Go to the shop and get them. And then you'll, you know, if you don't have enough money, the game will just look at you like, well, you're fucked. Can't play anymore.
You
You can't even do the Human Plus thing, because that requires starting a mission and failing it to lose money. You're literally just stuck in the menu forever now. You live here. You just live right here in the menu, and that's it. So for the love of God, do not save the game if you get soft lock like that. What's the next mission he's gonna do? Stop getting Dark Soul. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's what we'll stop. Look at the joke he put in right here. Stop Dark Souls, in parentheses he put, if only. Shots fucking fired, dude. I'm guessing that's a little jab at Dark Souls. This guy probably doesn't like it. Maybe he doesn't like Dark Souls and he's more of an Armored Core Andy. Obviously, he's got all the fucking games, except for one of them. And he probably was like, He's probably a little, maybe he's a little like low-key bitter that From Software, you know, obviously started devoting more attention to Dark Souls because it became more popular in this game. And eventually they abandoned the Armored Core series until recent times where they brought it back with Armored Core 6. But yeah, this guy's probably like not a fan of the fact that From Software decided to invest in Dark Souls and kind of push Armored Core to the side. But I mean, well, it's the one that sold more copies. It's the more popular game. What can you do? It's a more popular franchise. So they did what they had to do. Anyway, yeah, we're stopping here for now. I will be back tomorrow to stream some more. And for most of you who are watching on YouTube, well, I'll see you in the next video. So as always, take care of yourselves. Look after each other out there. Stay safe, all that good stuff. And until next time, hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I will see you all then. Peace.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.